Ronny Rieken, born the 12th of February 1968, is a German child murderer and serial killer. In 1996 and 1998, he killed two girls in the area surrounding Kloppenburg, northern Germany. Rieken was the first German criminal to be caught as a result of mass DNA screening. In 1998, he was sentenced to life imprisonment, which he is serving at Justus Vollzugsanstalt cell. Murders. On the 11th of June 1996, Rieken abducted 13-year-old Ulrike Everts from Jedlah II as she drove with her pony carriage at the Dortmunder Moorweg in Wardenburg. He abused her in a canal near camp, near a meat processing factory where he had abused an 11-year-old 5 months earlier. Afterwards, he returned her garments to her one by one to put on, then strangled her with a diaper cloth and dumped her body 40 kilometers away in the Ipwiger Moor. Her remains were found in July 1998. On the 16th of March 1998, shortly after 5 p.m., Rieken saw 11-year-old Christina Nitsch from Satirland, Kloppenburg, a few hundred yards from her parents' house, dragged her off her bicycle and drove her towards the camp canal, where he had raped and beaten Everts. When she refused to undress, he beat her and drove her to a forest near Lorup. There he forced her to undress before strangling her with a cable and stabbing the body several times with a knife. 6 days later, hunters found Nitsch's body 20 kilometers from her home, barely covered up with branches and covered in hematomas. She had been raped a total of 6 times. In the largest manhunt in German criminal history, 1,500 square kilometers were searched with the help of thousands of volunteers. The Bundeswehr had also supported the search, surveying with thermographic cameras from the air. Traces of Rieken's semen which were found on Nitsch's body linked him to the 1996 abuse of a 9-year-old. During Easter of 1998, as a result of a mass DNA screening, Rieken was arrested and convicted. Rieken agreed to the saliva test because his brother-in-law had suggested he should go. He was the first murderer in Germany to agree to a saliva test and be convicted, contributing significantly to the public and legal acceptance of this method. As early as April 1998, while the search for Rieken was still underway, the DNA analysis files, a composite application by the state criminal police offices and the Federal Criminal Police Office, commenced operations. Trial and imprisonment. In Rieken's trial before the jury, it was said that he had been abused by his father in his childhood. The presiding judge, who had already sentenced Rieken in 1989 for the rape of his sister, expressed doubts about his father's sexual abuse. Rieken had committed his first rape at the age of 19, on a girl from the neighborhood. At 21, he raped his sister, who was 2 years younger than him. Rieken had choked her with a belt until she was unconscious in order to subsequently rape her twice without resistance from her. During his imprisonment for the rape of his sister, he did not receive a therapy but was treated only for alcoholism. His original prison term of 10 years had been reduced to 5.5 years after he appealed the verdict. Because of good behavior, Rieken was released after just 3 years. A few weeks later, he abused the daughter of his future brother-in-law. The appeal lodged by Rieken against his last sentence was rejected in 1999 by the Federal Court of Justice. The Oldenburg District Court sentenced him to life imprisonment, resulting in a minimum detention of well over 15 years. He is now serving his sentence at Cell Prison. In March 2012, it was found that Rieken had not worked up his deeds and therefore will not be released before 2021 at the earliest. On the 9th of May 2012, this decision was confirmed by the Cell Court, making it legally binding. In prison, Rieken is a father of 3 and a former sailor. During his first prison term, he began an apprenticeship as a machinist, which he completed shortly after his premature release. See also list of fugitives from justice who are no longer sought. Redding Heinrich Thies, Ronny Rieken, Portrait eines Kindermorders, Springe, zu Klampen, 2005, ISBN 3-934920-54-3 Thomas Humbert, der freiwillig genetische Mausscientist. Verfassungsrechtlich Zulässigkeit und Grenzen unter Darstellung des Falls Christina Nitsch. Göttingen, University, Dis. 2003, Göttingen, CU Villiers, 2003, ISBN 3-89873-819-1. Documentary Film Annette Baumeister, Jobstnig. Ronny Rieken, Der Mädchenmörder. Die Großen Kriminalfall Radio Bremen, 2007. References. External links Literature by and about Rieken in the catalog of the German National Library Federal Court of Justice. Federal Court of Justice upholds verdict against Ronny Rieken, the murderer of Ulrike Everts and Christina Nitsch. Press release No. 81 1999 of the 28th of September 1999, published on the 12th of September 2016. Murder trial against Ronny Rieken. Concussive details on the death of Christina and Ulrike. In Rheinzeitung, dated the 12th of November 1998, accessed on the 12th of September 2016. Peter Brock, a solidified tendency to the heaviest aggressive acts. The court considers the killer Ronny Rieken to be fully accountable for his public defender demands therapy. In Berliner Zeitung, the 28th of November 1998, accessed on the 12th of September 2016.